It was the year 1925. The soil beneath our hands gave up its deepest secret. There, where the Morava kisses the slopes of the Pavlov Hills, the face of a woman 25,000 years old came to rest in eternity. It was the morning of July 13th, 1925. A light summer mist was rising over the hills of Palava, when Emil Dania, preparator and technical director of Karel Absolon's archaeological team, made a discovery no one had expected.
Come here, I found a statue. I don't know what it is.
As he carefully brushed away the soil, a dark object began to emerge before his eyes, a faint shadow of a distant past hidden for nearly 30,000 years. At the time, no one yet realized they were witnessing one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century, and that the name of this figurine, the Venus of Věstonice, would forever enter history. The Venus of Dolní Věstonice is a small figurine made of fired ceramic material, dated to the Gravettian period, approximately 29,025 DTCs. It was discovered in 1925 during archaeological excavations led by Karel Absolon at the Dolní Věstonice site. The material from which it is made is a mixture of finely crushed clay and organic inclusions, fired at a relatively low temperature. X-ray and microscopic analyses have confirmed the presence of carbonized plant fibers, indicating knowledge of controlled fire and the intentional production of ceramics by Ice Age hunter-gatherers. The body of the Venus is rendered schematically, with an emphasis on exaggerated fertility features, prominent breasts, hips, and abdomen. The direct creator of the Venus of Dolní Věstonice is unknown. Stylistic and technological analysis suggests that the figurine was made by an experienced individual with a good understanding of ceramic materials and their behavior during firing. Since ceramic production during the Gravettian period was uncommon, some scholars believe it was the work of a specialized artisan who may have produced similar objects within the local community. Fingerprints have been identified on the surface of the figurine, including one that may belong to a young person or child, sparking discussion about whether multiple people took part in its creation or whether the piece might also have been used as part of a teaching process. As for its purpose, there are several theories. The most common interprets the Venus as a symbol of fertility, motherhood, and abundance, associated with rituals intended to ensure the survival of the group. Some researchers see it as an expression of the ideal of female beauty in that society, while others emphasize its possible magical or religious function. It may have served as an amulet, an offering, or an object used in initiation rites. An alternative hypothesis interprets the Venus as a personal portrait of a specific woman, perhaps an important member of the community, which could explain certain individualized features of the figure. Whatever its function may have been, the Venus of Dolní Věstonice represents a unique combination of artistic expression, technical skill, and spiritual symbolism that transcends the boundaries of its time. Karel Absolon, June 16, 1877, Boskovic, October 6, 1960, Brno, was a Czech natural scientist, archaeologist, speleologist, and science popularizer whose name is inseparably linked with the study of prehistoric sites in Moravia, especially Dolní Věstonice. From childhood in Boskovice, he showed a deep interest in nature and history. Influenced by his grandfather, Jindřich Wankel, a well-known Moravian archaeologist and physician, he began collecting fossils, bones, and prehistoric artifacts. He studied natural sciences at the Charles Ferdinand University in Prague, and soon joined the research work of the Moravian Museum in Brno. Before Karel Absolon became a renowned scientist, he also made a name for himself in sports. On August 30th, 1896, as a 19-year-old student at the Brno Gymnasium, he won the Junior Cycling Championship of Moravia in Olomouc. This achievement reflects his versatility and determination, qualities he would later channel into his scientific work. At the start of his scientific career, he specialized in speleology, becoming a pioneer in the systematic mapping of the Moravian karst and taking part in the discovery and exploration of caves such as Makocha, the Punkva Caves, and the Kateřinska Cave. His expeditions often combined scientific research with strong media presentation, which brought him public attention and financial support. Karel Absolon devoted a significant part of his life to unveiling the hidden world of the Moravian karst. His expeditions combined scientific rigor with a flair for drama, capturing public imagination and advancing the field of speleology. One of his greatest challenges was the Makocha Abyss. Absolon led ambitious expeditions to explore its mysterious depths, employing divers and innovative techniques to chart the bottoms of its dark pools, places that had remained unknown for centuries. In the Punkva Caves, Absolon discovered and linked new chambers, transforming them from a hidden natural wonder into a site accessible to the public. His work not only revealed their geological beauty, but also laid the foundations for the infrastructure that allows visitors to experience them today. He also ventured into the Křížové Caves and other complex cave systems, documenting their intricate networks with the precision and persistence of a true pioneer. Absolon embraced the latest technology of his time, installing telephone lines deep underground, using heavy diving suits for underwater exploration, and capturing his work on both still photographs and motion picture film. Collaborating with geologists, hydrologists, and biologists, he built a multidisciplinary approach that was rare for his era. But Absolon's genius was not confined to science alone. He was also a master communicator. Through public lectures, high-profile exhibitions, and vividly written articles, he brought the hidden world of the Moravian karst into the hearts and minds of people far beyond the caves themselves. His research deepened the understanding of karst hydrology, geology, and microclimates, and his meticulous records have preserved the appearance of many cave systems before they were altered for tourism. Today, the Moravian karst's reputation as one of Central Europe's most celebrated karst landscapes owes much to Absolon's passion, determination, and vision. Although Karel Absolon is still remembered as a prominent figure in Czechoslovak archaeology, his work was not without controversy. During a period when his excavations were already receiving funding from public sources, some expense items were significantly inflated, according to surviving records, to more than triple the actual costs. The matter was ultimately resolved diplomatically by President Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk in order to prevent damage to the reputation of domestic science. His working methods also drew criticism. Excavations were conducted at an exceptionally rapid pace, with a strong focus on media-friendly epoch-making finds, while the documentation of uncovered areas was, from both a modern and contemporary perspective, inadequate and often lacked proper consultation with other specialists. Between 1924 and 1938, he led extensive excavations in Dolní Věstonice, Pavlov, and other sites. During these excavations in 1925, the world-famous artifact, the Venus of Dolní Věstonice, the oldest known ceramic figurine, was discovered. Absolon played a key role in making these finds known internationally, turning them into symbols of prehistoric culture in Central Europe. His work was often accompanied by large-scale public presentations, exhibitions, lectures, and articles that had both scientific and popular appeal. Some colleagues criticized him for being overly sensational or for presenting one-sided interpretations of finds, but his contribution to the development of Czech archaeology and the promotion of science remains undeniable. During the Second World War, Absolon's scientific activities were significantly restricted. The German occupation brought major changes to the nature of scholarly research, and his cooperation with the museum under Nazi administration partly compromised his standing. He worked on the development of the Anthropos Museum project, intended as a scientific institution to rival major foreign research centers. Supporters of the regime regarded the project as aligned with certain ideological aims, a connection that, though not entirely justified, was later held against him after the war. Toward the end of the war, a major tragedy struck. Most of the Paleolithic collections from Dolní Věstonice had been stored in the Mikulov Chateau, but in April 1945, during the liberation, a fire destroyed almost all of these invaluable artifacts. In contrast, prehistoric items kept at the Anthropos Museum were preserved. After the war, the museum was in a devastated state. The building had served as temporary quarters for the Red Army, and many finds were looted, both by Soviet soldiers and local residents. Despite these losses, efforts to restore the cultural heritage continued, and Absolon resumed his work for the Moravian Museum. However, his influence gradually waned due to the political and social realities of the new regime. Karel Absolon died on October 6, 1960, in Brno, leaving behind a legacy in speleology, archaeology, and the public presentation of science. His impact endures not only through his publications and discoveries, but also through institutions such as the Anthropos Pavilion, which continues to reflect elements of his original vision. During the Gravettian period, around 30 to 25,000 years ago, much of Europe was home to a majestic predator, the cave lion, Panthera leo spelea. Despite its name, it did not live exclusively in caves. Rather, it used them as temporary shelters or as places to drag prey. This subspecies of lion was larger than today's African lion, with a more robust build and longer limbs, which allowed it to cross snowy plains and hunt large game. Males lacked the typical mane, likely an adaptation to the cold climate of the last ice age. The saber-toothed tiger in the Gravettian period. While the cave lion ruled Europe during the Gravettian period, 30 to 25,000 years ago, on the other side of the world, in the Americas, the top predator was the saber-toothed tiger, Smilodon. This powerful hunter, famous for its long, curved canines, roamed grassy and often snowy plains, preying on bison, camels, and other large animals. Just like European hunters, the people of the Americas had to face these formidable cats, and likely honored and depicted them in their own art. Gravettian hunters encountered these predators regularly. Cave lions were not only competitors in hunting reindeer, horses, and bison, but also an important element of prehistoric mythology. Cave paintings, engravings, and small sculptures from famous sites such as Chauvet or Předmostí show that people of this period viewed the lion with respect and fascination. In some cultures, it may have symbolized strength, protection, or the danger that must be overcome. In recent years, extraordinary discoveries have been made in the permafrost of Siberia, perfectly preserved cave lion cubs. The most famous specimens were found in Yakutia, on the banks of the Samuelyak River and other sites. Thanks to the permanently frozen soil, not only were the skeletons intact, but fur, skin, whiskers, and soft tissues were also preserved. These mummies are approximately 28-43,000 years old and provide a unique glimpse into the appearance and biology of the species. DNA analyses confirm their close relation to modern lions, while also revealing differences that reflect adaptation to a cold climate. The presence of thick, double-layered fur and the absence of a mane in males are distinctive features. The study of these finds opens new possibilities in paleogenetics, Ice Age ecosystem reconstruction, and discussions about de-extinction, whether it might one day be possible to bring this predator back to life. During the Upper Paleolithic, especially in the Gravettian period, around 30,000 to 22,000 years ago, the cave bear, Ursus spelaeus, was one of the largest